All right, guys. So, you want to know how to comfort your girlfriend when she's upset? I mean, we've all been there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So get this, a WikiHow article.
Okay.
Could be your secret weapon.
Really?
I know, right?
It's
Sounds a little out there, but this one, how to comfort your girlfriend when she is upset,
Mhm.
has over 1.9 million views. And get this,
What?
it's reader approved.
Wow. Okay. So, like, people have actually tried this stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. Like real world, tested, and apparently approved.
That's pretty cool, I gotta admit.
I know, right?
And hold on. It gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, they get a licensed therapist.
No way.
Yeah, weighing in too.
Oh.
So we're not just talking like anecdotal advice here.
So we're going deep.
Yeah, this is like legit psychology.
I like it.
The why behind offering support,
Right.
why certain approaches work better than others.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, and that's valuable no matter who you're trying to comfort, right?
Like a masterclass in communication.
Exactly.
And empathy.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's get into it.
All right.
First things first. What's step one?
Well,
According to their article, at least.
the article says ask her what's wrong.
Okay, simple enough, right?
Right.
But they don't just leave it at that.
Yeah.
They really dig into the how.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets interesting.
A how of asking,
Yeah, exactly.
because it's all about listening.
Okay.
Really listening, like
Yeah.
without judgment.
Oh, I see.
It's not about jumping in with solutions.
Got it.
Or trying to like fix things right away.
Right.
The point is to create that space
Yeah.
where she can just vent,
Yeah.
process her emotions without feeling like she has to defend them.
So no interrupting with, well, maybe if you had, or, I once.
Exactly. Not helpful.
Nope. Yeah.
This is about her experience.
Right.
And the article actually gives some really solid phrases
Oh, perfect.
to validate her feelings.
Like what?
Like, I know this must feel terrible right now. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Or I can't imagine how you feel. I know this can't be easy.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice how those statements,
Yeah.
they acknowledge the pain without minimizing the situation.
So it's all about empathy.
Yes.
Not problem solving.
Absolutely. And that leads us to something that honestly blew my mind when I read it.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The article says,
Mm-hmm.
and this is backed up by the therapist too,
Oh, wow.
that we should avoid saying, I know how you feel.
I've definitely been guilty of that one.
Oh, me too.
For sure.
Like, I thought I was being supportive.
Right. You think it's harmless enough?
Yeah. But why is that a no-go?
Because it can actually be really invalidating.
Oh.
Think about it. Everyone experiences emotions differently.
Yeah, that's true.
What hurts you might not hurt me in the same way, saying,
Right.
I know how you feel.
It can be dismissive almost.
Totally. Like, you're
Yeah.
not really taking her unique experience seriously.
Right.
Even if your intention is good, it can backfire if it doesn't feel genuine.
It's all about that authenticity. Yeah. And sometimes, the best thing you can do is just be quiet and listen,
I like that. Yeah.
Let her talk, let her cry, let her get it all out.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to be heard.
Exactly.
No,
Not fixed.
Exactly. And that in itself can be incredibly powerful.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just that feeling of being heard
Mm-hmm.
and understood
Yeah.
without judgment.
But the article doesn't just focus on what not to say.
Right.
They also give us some phrases that actually can help
Yeah.
and offer a glimmer of hope.
Yes.
It's not about toxic positivity, right?
Right.
It's about reminding her that things will get better.
Exactly. Offering that reassurance
Yeah.
without dismissing the current pain.
So, like,
Well, they suggest something like let it out. That however terrible these feelings will pass. So you're acknowledging the pain, but you're also offering that reassurance.
it's like saying, I'm here with you and we'll get through this together.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the verbal stuff, the
Yeah.
listening, the validating,
Mhm.
but what about physical comfort?
Ooh,
The article talks about how touch can be really important.
it can be huge.
Yeah, especially when someone's upset.
Especially then.
Tell me more.
Well, this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
We're not talking about like a quip pat on the back here.
Right.
The article actually digs into the science of touch
Okay.
and how it impacts our emotions.
Oh, I love the science.
All right, let's get into it.
Yes.
So hugging, for example,
Yeah.
releases oxytocin,
Oxytocin.
which is often called the bonding hormone.
Oh, right. The cuddle hormone.
Yeah, exactly. And it plays a key role in social bonding, trust, and even reducing stress.
So it's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Bro,
There's an actual physiological reason why hugs can be so comforting.
it's like a biological cheat code for feeling better.
I love that.
Right.
But hold on.
Yeah.
The article talks about a specific kind of hug.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just any old squeeze, is it?
You're catching on. It's not just a quick squeeze. It's a firm but gentle hug. Okay.
Maybe with some rocking or patting on the back, particularly if she needs to calm down
Yeah.
before you can even really talk.
Right.
It's about conveying a sense of safety and security.
So it's about that feeling of being held
Yes.
and safe.
Letting her know that you're there for her.
Okay, I'm seeing a theme here.
What's that?
Being present,
Yes.
both physically and emotionally.
You got it.
And
That's
it
nice.
doesn't stop at hugging.
No.
They also mention holding hands,
Yes.
which is another simple gesture.
But so powerful.
I know, right?
It can be so powerful for reducing stress and creating that sense of connection.
It's amazing how much we communicate through touch,
It really is.
even without words.
Yeah.
But of course, we always want to make sure
Of course.
that any physical contact is respectful
Yes.
and appropriate for the situation.
Absolutely. Consent and respect are key.
Always.
Always.
Now, speaking of going the extra mile,
Okay.
the article suggests surprising her with a change of scenery.
Ooh, interesting.
And this is where we move beyond that
Yeah.
immediate comfort zone
Right.
and start thinking about,
Longer term strategies.
yeah, like what can you do
Exactly.
to help her really process?
Exactly.
And this part is fascinating to me
Why is that?
because it taps into the concept
Oh, I love this part.
of emotional context.
Yes.
Have you ever noticed how, like, your surroundings can really affect your mood?
Oh, absolutely.
Like when you're out in nature,
Yeah.
you feel calmer.
Way more relaxed.
Or you're in a cluttered room and you just feel stressed.
Yeah.
Like I'm way more likely to snap at
That's
someone
for sure.
if I'm stuck in traffic
Yeah.
than if I'm like strolling through a park.
Makes total sense.
So the article is suggesting that by
Yeah.
changing her physical environment, you can potentially...
Shift her emotional state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just about distraction.
No.
It's about creating
It's about creating a more positive
a better.
emotional space.
And they give some examples,
Like what?
like taking her for a walk in nature,
Love it.
going to a museum,
Nice.
even just getting out of the house.
Sometimes that's all it takes
Yeah,
to
yeah.
reset.
To get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Sometimes a change of scenery is all you need
Sometimes that's it.
to shift your perspective.
It's like hitting the reset button on your emotions.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
the article also mentions some other thoughtful gestures,
Okay, like what?
like surprising her with a gift,
Okay.
cooking her dinner,
Mm.
giving her a massage.
Ooh, massage.
Oh, no.
I like that idea. But
Yeah.
how does that
Yeah.
tie back to comforting someone
Yeah.
who's upset?
Well, think about it. Massages are all about relaxation,
Yeah.
stress relief, and physical touch.
Right.
So they can really create a sense of being pampered and cared for,
Yeah.
which can be so comforting when you're feeling down.
That makes sense.
Right.
It's like you're saying,
Yeah.
I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And it taps into that oxytocin release we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you're strengthening that feeling of connection
Exactly.
and support.
It's like a double whammy of feel-good vibes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sold on the massage idea.
Right.
But let's be real. Not everyone loves massages.
True.
The key here is to think about what your girlfriend specifically enjoys.
Yes. You got it.
Right.
It's about knowing her
Exactly.
and what works for her.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
So it's all about understanding her individual needs
Yes.
and preferences.
And finding those ways to support her
Yeah.
in a way that feels authentic and personal.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about listening, validating her feelings.
Verbally and physically.
Yeah.
Through touch.
And we've even explored going the extra mile
Yeah.
with a change of scenery or a thoughtful gesture.
A little something special.
This is turning out to be way more insightful than I expected.
I told you, there's a lot more to this than
Yeah.
meets the eye.
And we're just getting started.
And we're just getting started. There's a whole section on what not to say,
Oh.
which I think will really surprise you.
Okay, cliffhanger.
But we'll save that for later.
I can't wait. We'll be back in a flash to dive into that.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
All right. Okay, so are you ready for some more counterintuitive advice?
Hit me with it. You mentioned a section on what not to say.
Yeah. Even if you think you're being helpful?
This, I gotta hear.
Okay, so get this. Remember how we talked about avoiding, I know how you feel? That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, no.
The article and the therapist they consulted
Right.
go on to list a whole bunch of phrases
Okay.
that, while seemingly supportive,
Yeah.
can actually be pretty dismissive.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Oh, yeah. Things like, it's no big deal, or you're overreacting.
Yeah. ouch, even if you think she's blowing things out of proportion. Saying that is just going to make her feel worse.
Exactly.
Like her feelings aren't valid.
Like you're saying she doesn't have a right to be upset.
Yeah.
And then there are the phrases that,
Her.
while trying to be positive,
Yeah.
actually end up putting pressure on her to feel a certain way.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Like, you're so strong you'll get over this, or just look on the bright side.
Those seem positive on the surface.
Right.
Like you're trying to boost her spirits.
But it's like saying she's not allowed to be upset.
Yeah.
Or that she needs to just get over it quickly.
I can see how that would backfire.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the classic conversation hijacker. Oh, this reminds me of the time I went through something similar.
Ooh. Yes. We've all encountered those people.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they can't resist turning the spotlight back on themselves.
Classic.
Helpful.
Nope. So the key takeaway here is to be present, be empathetic,
Okay.
and really just focus on her emotional experience.
So it's about being a supportive listener, not a competitor in the misery Olympics.
Exactly.
Now, remember how we were talking about physical touch and that whole oxytocin thing?
Oh, yeah. The bonding hormone?
The article goes into some really interesting detail about hugging specifically.
Yeah. They emphasize that it's not just about any old hug.
Right.
It's got to be like...
Yeah. What kind of hug are we talking about?
They describe it as firm but gentle.
Okay.
Maybe with some rocking or patting on the back.
Yeah.
Particularly if she needs to calm down before you can even talk.
I can picture it now.
Yeah.
That kind of hug that just makes you feel safe and held.
Exactly. And it's fascinating how they connect this back to the release of oxytocin.
Right.
So it's not just about providing emotional support.
Yeah.
It's actually triggering a physiological response
Oh.
that can help her feel calmer and more connected to you.
It's like a biological cheat code for feeling better.
Exactly.
And they also talk about holding hands,
Oh, yeah.
which can be so powerful.
It's a simple gesture.
I know, right?
But it can have such a huge impact on our emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Holding hands can reduce stress. It can create a sense of intimacy.
It's like a silent way of saying, I'm here with you. We're in this together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But of course, you always want to be mindful of boundaries.
Right, of course.
And make sure any physical contact feels respectful.
Appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Consent and respect are always paramount.
Now, beyond that immediate comfort of a hug or holding hands, the article talks about going the extra mile.
Oh, yeah?
With some thoughtful gestures.
So we're moving beyond the immediate crisis.
Yeah.
And thinking about how we can support her.
Exactly.
In the long run.
And this is all about understanding her personality and what would truly make her feel loved and supported.
Exactly. What would make her feel special?
So they mentioned things like surprising her with a change of scenery.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe taking her on a picnic.
Ooh, nice.
Or for a relaxing massage.
Oh, yeah, I love that idea.
I'm a big fan of the massage idea.
Me too. Who doesn't love a little pampering?
But how does that tie back to comforting someone who's upset?
Well, think about it. Massages are all about relaxation, stress relief.
And physical touch.
Yeah, all those things that can really help soothe and comfort someone.
So it's like a full body reset button.
Exactly.
But not everyone loves massages.
True. It's all about knowing your girlfriend.
Right. What if she's not into that kind of thing?
Right. Well, the article mentions other ideas.
Okay, like what?
Like taking her to see a comedy show,
Okay.
going for a hike in nature, even just spending a quiet evening at home.
Watching her favorite movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so the key takeaway here is that it's not about following some prescribed formula.
No.
It's about understanding what she finds comforting.
Exactly.
And tailoring your actions accordingly.
And sometimes the most comforting thing you can do is simply to ask, what would make you feel better right now? Oh, I love that. And really listen to her answer.
It shows that you care enough to ask.
And that you're willing to put her needs first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the article also touches on something really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
The concept of emotional contagion.
Emotional contagion.
Have you ever noticed how you can kind of catch other people's emotions?
Yeah.
Like if you're around someone who's really stressed, you start feeling anxious too.
Oh, totally. It's like their energy rubs off on you.
Exactly. It turns out there's a scientific basis for that.
Really?
Our brains are wired to mirror the emotions of those around us.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So if your girlfriend is surrounded by negativity,
Yeah.
it's going to be harder for her to break free from that emotional state.
So a change of scenery isn't just about distraction.
Right.
It's also about removing her from a potentially toxic emotional environment.
Exactly.
It's about creating a more supportive and positive space for her to process her emotions.
So taking her for a walk in nature, going to a museum, even just getting out of the house for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Those aren't just random activities. They're strategic ways to shift her emotional context.
I'm really digging this whole idea of emotional context.
Me too. A whole new way of looking at comfort and support.
And it highlights the fact that comforting someone isn't just about what you do.
Right.
It's also about the environment you create.
It's about being mindful of the energy you bring to the situation.
Yeah.
And creating a space that feels safe, supportive.
Conducive to healing.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked a lot about what to do, but the article also emphasizes what not to do.
Oh, okay.
And some of these might surprise you.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What are some of the biggest no-nos when it comes to comforting your girlfriend?
Well, we already touched on a few.
Yeah.
Like minimizing her feelings or making the conversation about yourself.
Right.
But there are a few others that I think are worth highlighting.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's bust those myths.
One big one is trying to fix the problem before she's even finished talking.
Oh, yeah. I've been guilty of that one.
It's so tempting, right?
It is.
Because you want to help.
You want to make things better.
Exactly. But sometimes people just need to vent.
Yeah.
They need to get it all out.
To be heard.
Yeah, before they can even begin to think about solutions.
It's like putting a bandage on a wound before you've even cleaned it.
Exactly.
You need to address the emotional hurt first.
Yes. So resist that urge to jump in with solutions.
Don't try to fix it right away.
Yeah, just listen, validate, and let her know that you understand.
So it's more about being a sounding board than a fixer-upper.
Another common mistake is offering unsolicited advice.
Oh, yeah.
Even if your intentions are good, it can come across as patronizing or dismissive.
Right.
Like you're saying, I know better than you what you need.
Yeah.
Which can be super annoying.
Especially if she just wants to be heard.
Right.
Not told what to do.
Exactly. So unless she specifically asks for advice, hold back on the solutions.
Got it.
Just focus on being present and supportive.
Okay, so we've talked about not minimizing her feelings, not making the conversation about ourselves, not jumping in with solutions, and not offering unsolicited advice.
Don't be a know-it-all.
What else should we avoid?
Well, this one might seem obvious.
Okay.
But it's worth mentioning.
Lay it on me.
Don't tell her to calm down.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
It never works, does it?
Nope.
In fact, it usually has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Telling someone to calm down when they're upset is like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It invalidates their feelings and makes them feel like they're not allowed to be upset.
It's like saying your feelings are inconvenient for me, so please stop having them.
Exactly. Not exactly comforting, is it?
Not at all.
So instead of telling her to calm down, try validating her feelings.
Like,
say something like, I understand why you're upset. This is a really tough situation.
oh, that's so much better.
Right.
It acknowledges her feelings.
Yes.
And it lets her know that you understand why she's upset.
And it creates a much more supportive and empathetic environment.
Okay, I'm definitely taking notes here.
Good.
This is all really helpful stuff.
I'm glad to hear it.
But you know what I'm realizing?
What's that?
A lot of these principles apply.
Yeah.
Not just to comforting your girlfriend, but to any relationship where you're trying to offer support.
These are fundamental communication skills.
So it's about being a good friend,
Yes.
a good family member, a good coworker,
a good human being.
It's about cultivating empathy.
Yes.
Compassion. And the ability to truly listen and understand
the people around us.
Yeah. This is starting to feel less like a relationship advice episode.
I know, right?
And more like a life lesson.
That's the beauty of it. Sometimes the most valuable insights
come from the most unexpected places.
Exactly. Who knew a WikiHow article could be so profound?
I'm definitely going to look at WikiHow in a whole new light from now on.
Me too.
But we're not done yet.
Oh, no.
The article has a whole section on going the extra mile.
To provide support.
And I'm curious to hear what they have to say.
Well, I'm happy to dive into that.
Okay, so we're back.
And ready to dive into the final section.
Of this surprisingly insightful WikiHow article.
I know. Who knew?
We've covered a lot.
We have.
Listening, validating, hugs.
All the good stuff.
But now it's time to explore going the extra mile.
Ooh, yes.
To support your girlfriend when she's upset.
This is where we get to be creative.
I like it. Give me the ideas.
Well, remember how we talked about
Yeah.
the power of changing the emotional context?
Uh-huh.
Well, the article suggests taking this a step further and surprising her with a little getaway.
Ooh, like getaway.
A change of scenery.
I could definitely use a getaway right about now.
Right.
But how does this tie back to comforting someone who's upset?
Well, it's about removing her
Okay.
from the situation that's causing her stress.
So getting her out of that negative headspace.
Exactly. And creating a new positive experience.
So new sights, new sounds.
Fresh air.
I like it.
All of that can help shift her perspective and lift her spirits.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
For her emotion.
But of course,
yeah,
not everyone could just jet off to a tropical island.
right. Not every time your girlfriend's feeling down.
The article gets that.
Okay, go.
They suggest smaller scale getaways too.
Like what?
Like a weekend camping trip.
Okay.
A day at the beach.
Nice.
Even just a drive out to the countryside.
Those are all much more accessible.
Right.
Okay, so let's say a getaway isn't really an option.
Mm-hmm.
What else can you do?
Well, they have a whole list
Lay it on me.
of thoughtful gestures.
Okay.
Things like cooking her dinner,
Okay.
running her a bath,
Nice.
or even just picking up her favorite takeout.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about showing her that you're thinking of her
Yeah.
and that you want to make her feel better.
Those little acts of service can go a long way.
They really can.
It's like saying, I see you, I care about you, and I want to make your life a little easier right now.
Exactly. And sometimes the most meaningful gestures are the simplest ones.
I agree. It's not about how much money you spend.
Right.
It's about the thought and effort.
It's the thoughtfulness behind it.
Okay. So what if you're not exactly a master chef?
Well, you can still appeal to her senses.
Oh, okay. How?
The article suggests creating a relaxing atmosphere.
Like what kind of atmosphere are we talking?
Like dimming the lights,
Okay.
putting on some calming music,
Oh, I like that.
and lighting some candles.
It's like a spa experience at home.
Exactly.
And if you want to go the extra mile...
You could even give her a foot massage or a back rub.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
But again,
Right.
it's all about knowing your girlfriend
Of course.
and what she enjoys.
Right. What might be relaxing for one person could be totally overwhelming for another.
Exactly. So always pay attention to her cues and adjust your approach accordingly.
Okay, so we've got getaways, acts of service, relaxing atmosphere. What else?
Well, this one might seem counterintuitive,
Okay, I'm listening.
but they suggest giving her space.
Oh, interesting. I always thought being present and supportive meant sticking by her side no matter what.
And sometimes that's exactly what she needs.
Yeah.
But not always.
Yeah.
Everyone copes differently.
That's true.
Some people need to talk it out.
Some people need to be alone with their thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the key is to communicate.
Right.
Ask her, what would help you feel better right now? Do you need some space? Or would you like me to stay?
That's a good one.
It gives her the power to choose what she needs.
I like that.
Because sometimes the best support
Yeah.
is simply respecting her need for space.
Wow. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
I know, right?
We've explored the nuances of communication.
The science of comfort.
And all the ways you can go the extra mile.
The art of going above and beyond.
To support your girlfriend when she's feeling down.
And honestly, a lot of these principles
Yeah.
apply to any relationship.
Right. It's not just about romantic relationships.
It's about all the important people in your life.
So whether you're comforting a friend, a family member, or even a coworker,
These skills can come in handy.
they can help you show up in a more supportive and meaningful way.
And sometimes
Yeah.
the most comforting thing you can do
Mm-hmm.
is simply ask, what do you need?
I love that.
And truly listen to the answer.
Because we don't always know what other people need.
That's so true.
The best way to find out is to just ask.
So listeners,
Yes.
as you go out into the world, remember to be present
Be empathetic.
and be willing to listen.
And if you're ever unsure how to support someone,
Just ask
just ask, what do you need?
and truly listen to the answer.
And remember, these skills take practice.
They do.
Nobody's perfect at this.
We're all learning.
But the more we try,
The better we get.
and the more we can create a world where everyone feels seen
Or-
and supported.
Until next time. Keep diving deep. And keep those conversations flowing.
See ya.